time to visit with our good friend, Attorney Kim Baer, joining us, talking about something that not necessarily the most pleasant thing in the world to talk about, but something that really needs to be addressed.
Yes, yes. Well, we probably should be talking about car accidents with the snowstorm, but
Right.
But the topic that I thought we'd cover today is flat fee divorces, and a lot of people are unaware that there are law firms out there that do offer flat fees, and they offer flat fees if it's an uncontested divorce. And so, you know, what does that mean?
Yes, what's the advantage of
Yeah,
this?
what's the advantage? The advantage is a divorce is one of those things that you can go into and meet with your attorney and say, okay, let's get this process started, and you can think it's going to cost you a couple $1,000s, and by the time it's done, I mean, it's not unusual. It could cost you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, even more, depending on what you're fighting over.
Really?
Right. It can be very expensive. So one of the things that I know our firm offers, and a lot of other law firms offer, if you and your spouse have agreed on what you're going to do about custody, what you're going to do about visitation, how you're going to handle the house and retirement accounts and things like that. And so if it's going to be an amicable divorce, one of the nice things about flat fee divorces is we can say to you, here's the flat fee, here's how much it's going to cost you, and as long as it doesn't blow up and people aren't now fighting over custody or something like that, this is a guaranteed price, and so we can get you divorced for that price. So I know our office offers a flat fee, as I said, and if you don't have children, it's $1,850, and it includes the court cost, and it includes a lot of the documentation that you need, and should get you through the process. If you have children, then we've got to do child support guidelines. We have to do a visitation schedule and usually a parenting plan if it's joint physical care. So in that case, it's $2,350. So what
is that per couple or per person?
For the whole thing. So So a lot of times, so in Iowa, a lawyer can only represent one person.
Okay.
So I would tell you that in our uncontested divorces, probably 60% of the time, the other party doesn't even get an attorney. We recommend that they have somebody, if only just to review the decree before they sign off. But we only give legal advice to one person. So if I'm representing Lou, if the two of you are married and I'm representing Lou, I can draft the petition, I can draft the divorce decree, I can do the financial affidavit, and then it's up to you if you just want to say, okay, you know what, this is what we agreed to, I think it's fair, and so I'm just going to sign off on it. And if that's the case, then it's $1,850 across the board, that's all it costs.
How long of a process is this?
If it stays uncontested, there's a 90-day waiting period after we file, and we can have that waived, but you have to have a pretty good reason. So for the most part, we tell people count on the 90 days. But during the 90 days, we can work on the financial affidavit. We can work on a draft decree. So, you know, I'd say anywhere from, 3 to 5 months is about what an uncontested divorce takes. So,
how often does that change and it's no longer uncontested? And
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I decided I want more things.
That's a great question, and here's what I'll tell you. I would say in our office, maybe 20% of the uncontested people end up becoming contested. So one of the tips I wanted to talk about today was, if you go into a law firm and you're going to hire them for an uncontested divorce, what are the things that you need to be looking at?
Okay.
Hopefully they're going to give you a detailed contract that's going to spell out, here's what's covered and here's what's not covered, because the last thing you want to do is budget for the $1,850 or the $2,000 and then find out, wait a minute, why is it costing me $5,000?
Right.
So, so number one, does it cover the court cost? And in Iowa, it's $185 to file for divorce, and it's $50 at the end. So that's a good chunk of money. So you want to look into that. Number two, does it cover a quitclaim deed? Are we going to be transferring a house? If we are, then we're going to need a quitclaim deed. And I've heard people come in to talk to me. They've said, oh, I talked to this law firm. It was going to be flat fee, but then they were going to charge me $300 for a quitclaim deed. So you want to find out whether or not that's included.
Okay.
Exactly. Your financial affidavit and your child support guidelines should be included, but you want to make sure. Some flat fee divorces say, we're going to give you 1 hour of attorney time. That might not be enough, but it depends. If you really are in agreement and you know what you're doing, maybe that's enough. You also, going back to your question, you want to find out, when is it going to become contested?
Right.
So in our contract, we say if you have to go to mediation, that means that we're not in agreement, and now
Right.
we've got to pay a mediator, and now it's contested. If we have to go have a hearing on something, now it's contested. So you need to look at the contract and make sure it specifies exactly when is it going to become contested.
So when does it kick out of a flat fee
Exactly.
to a normal fee?
Exactly. And also what happens to my money? If I give you money and I say, okay, it's going to be uncontested, now it's turned contested, how are you going to handle the money I gave you? Now, what our firm does is we just continue to bill against that, and then at some point you're going to run out of money because it's contested, and we'll ask you for more money.
Okay.
But those are the types of things that you really want to be looking at.
So all flat fee rates are not the same?
They're not the same, and you may find a law firm that has a low flat fee, but maybe all these things aren't included. So you really want to kind of ask these questions and make sure you look into it.
A lot of things you probably don't think about when you're in that kind of not a fun situation to begin with, but then you don't think about all the extra paperwork that might be involved.
Exactly.
Before we let you go, and because you mentioned it, there will be people getting in accidents today. Do you have any quick advice for people who are involved?
Yeah, the typical things that we say, make sure you take some pictures. If there's somebody that saw the accident, make sure you get their information because they might not want to stick around. Make sure you get the other side's information. Do call the police. It's going to be a little difficult today because it's messy. We offer a free consultation, so if you've got questions, just give us a call. We'll be more than happy to talk to you on the phone or get you in for a cup of coffee when the storm's over.
Yeah,
Thank you very
but
much.
don't feel weird by climbing out and using your phone and taking pictures, because that's really important. isn't it?
It's so important because you may be surprised down the road that somebody's arguing that you caused the accident when you really did not. So you need to be taking pictures of not only your car but the other car and what happened.
But make sure you're safe out there.
All
as
right.
well.
Yeah, but be
Thank you.
safe, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do people get a hold of you?
Sure, you can give us a call at 515-INJURED. We're right across the street from Vets Auditorium.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.